iScope Media. Today we have brought political and analytical reports prepared by our analytical team. Well, the new strategies have been emerging in full swing in Karnataka as the assembly polls are next year. And to talk on the matter, we have iScope Media CEO and political analysts head, Latish Bharatan. Welcome to the talk, sir.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. So, sir, as we know, nearly 3 years, after it came to power in Karnataka, the BJP, which has always kept at least 4 vacancies open in the state cabinet to the ward of dissensions, is now set to fill all 34 ministerial berths available in the state with just a year left for the assembly elections. Well, several political developments over the past week suggest that BJP is preparing for a ministerial overhaul in the final lap of its current tenure in Karnataka. Well, while there has been speculations that Karnataka CM may meet top BJP and RSS leaders during a visit to Delhi scheduled to be announced soon, Bommai himself said this week that no call had come from the Delhi leaders as yet. So what do you have to say about that, sir?
So Bommai cabinet is now having 29 ministers. They have a strength of 34. And now the Ishurappa has resigned recently. So there is one more minister is less. I think they have, the Karnataka is an important state for BJP. As you know very well, in the last from 2014 election, the BJP had gained 17 states. So BJP is, Karnataka is very important for them to retain the power.
Right.
So anyhow, last time they made the government with of Janata Dal, Congress, MLAs turned to their side. So they will be dropping certain MLAs who became ministers and put the new BJP team. And in this BJP team, I think they have the Lingayat issues there, the secular system is there. And very important thing I've noticed is the Karnataka they are doing the polarization of the vote.
Right.
Religious polarization is not that much. Earlier, they was very cleverly was doing for the food. Later, they transformed to the dress. And now the Hindi language is coming.
Yeah.
So BJP is doing all the things. The strategy to be maintained by the both Congress and BJP is very important. So BJP has to have a reshuffle in their cabinet.
Right.
Before the next elections coming.
Right. Right, sir. Also, I feel adding on to that, loudspeaker issue has also come up to Karnataka right now, I feel. Though it had started from UP and the north places, but it has come to Karnataka also. And also last week, Bommai held a surprise meeting with the young BJP MLA Arvind Billard, who is in Hubali region of Karnataka, the home region for both the leaders. Well, the meeting assumed significance since Billard, who is the son of veteran RSS and BJP leader Chandrakant Billard, is an aspirant for the ministerial position in the government and was even a front runner for the chief minister's post when, the BJP eased Lingayat strongman B.S. Yediyurappa out of chief minister's seat in July 2021. So we know when B.S. Yediyurappa went and he resigned, this was the person who was in the forefront for the chief ministerial post. So what do you think about this? What about the Lingayat leaders?
Bernard is a very young leader and very strong. And his name one time came as a chief minister candidate. Anyhow, they want to make Yediyurappa and Lingayat happy. They choose Bommai. So now they want to bring some ministers to balance the communal equations. Two dominant communities in Karnataka, Lingayat and Vokalingas. So this is very important to bring equation very correct. Because last elections, by-elections, BJP was not able to perform well. In Karnataka politics, it's very important that Lingayat community have a prominent role. So they have a plan also to make happy Yediyurappa to bring his son Vijayendra as a minister. But I don't think that BJP leadership is so happy with him.
Okay.
So they are BJP leadership very tactfully keeping Yediyurappa happy as well as having fencing him and his family. So we don't know what is the strategy the Delhi BJP leadership will be taking.
Right. So if we talk about the Lingayats, Lingayats make almost 70% of the state population. And they are a decisive factor.
No, not 17%.
Yeah, 17%, exactly. Yeah, 17. So they make almost the 17% of the state population. And they are a decisive factor if we talk about it for nearly 70 to 80 of the 224 assembly seats in the state, where the BJP score a vote base. Well, sources have also said, we went through few reports, our team has went through few reports, and sources have said that, backward class, beloved community member, Sunil Kumar Karkala, he has roots in the Sangh in the coastal Karnataka, who is likely to be upgraded for his current portfolio of Minister for Energy and Kannada and Culture. So they are actually bringing more of the communities into the assembly and they are having a good hold on it.
Yes, it is very clear. The last election, well, looking into the last election, BJP has emerged a very good position in Kittur region, which have some 50 MLAs. The BJP got 30 MLAs. In Kalyan region, BJP was not much, but they got 14 MLAs. In coastal Karnataka also BJP got a good number of seats. And Congress got only in the region of Mysore. They didn't got any good number of seats in Mysore. They got in Bangalore, urban Bangalore, also a few seats. But in the central Karnataka was under the control of BJP. So this is the caste equation worked down. Lingayat community was behind the BJP. So to retain the seats what they got last election, they should have maintained the caste balance. They are waiting for the equation to work out and to keep Lingayat community and Yediyurappa. Yediyurappa had a very good rapport with the Lingayat community, better than BJP.
Right.
So they want to keep Yediyurappa as a face and regain the Lingayat vote base. We don't know what will happen. The equation that works out should be very clear. And I feel that how they are going to take over this thing, the reshuffling of the government is a big tough job.
Yeah.
And how will it will impact BJP?
Yeah. Right, sir. So actually, according to sources that we came to know, that our team has informed us, one of the major moves for the party is being considered is to drop some of 10 ministers, who were inducted into the cabinet after they switched from Congress and JDS in 2019 to the BJP, to form the government and toppling the coalition. So this has been their major move right now, which we are expected, it will come. However, BJP is wary of the political message that the dropping of new ministers, might send out to candidates waiting to switch over from opposition parties. Well, besides the outcome, it might have on the remaining 1 year of the government's tenure. If they drop, it is going to, varily affect the already tenure that the BJP is holding right now.
It's a big issue BJP is facing. How to manage. They brought 18 MLAs in favor of them from Congress and Janata Dal and formed the government. And all the 18, 17, they made ministers. So the original BJP cadres who was with RSS and ABVP could not get any ministerial berth. And if these people are removed from the ministerial berth, they will have a counter effect. So this is a very important thing the BJP is facing. They have also corruption issue. Yediyurappa resigned for the reason of corruption. What I feel now, the Congress had made a strike everything issue. They cannot make a strike in that sense to get Yediyurappa get arrested. It was a major issue. A contractor who was also a BJP man who suicided for the getting the money which he was asked to give the major chunk as a bribe. This is a big major issue that Congress could have brought it to the notice.
Right.
What I felt that Congress is having a fractional issue between Yediyurappa and DK Shivkumar. I don't know what will be the strategy. They will be together to fight the BJP. This is the main political junction where the Karnataka election will be faced by the two major parties.
Right, sir. So adding on to the corruption issue, a senior BJP functionary requesting, that he should not be named on our show, said that one of the major challenges that the party is facing since it has formed government is corruption. So the major problem of BJP is corruption. And we know the entire scenario of what happened in that corruption. And, interestingly, in the last 5 years itself, 310 cases of corruption have been registered and investigated against these government officials by the Anti-Corruption Bureau. However, the state government has not provided sanctions to prosecute these officials in 72% of these cases. So we can say, maximum, it's not even 50%, it's 72%, which holds a very big importance. So 72% has not been prosecuted. So yeah, corruption does hold a very, 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 important position in BJP right now.
You know very well, 2013, the BJP government was broken and the party was splitted. And Yediyurappa was jailed for corruption and big issue was there.
Yes.
They have taken the corruption seriously. This has counter affected BJP had a major split. Yediyurappa leaving BJP and forming his own party. So now even BJP is very cautious of handling this issue. And we have a very weak opposition. I think the Congress with DK Shivkumar and Siddaramaiah was not able to take the issue beyond a limit. So BJP is facing major problem.
Okay.
The elections in India is turning in a very important stand. Because you have seen UP election.
Yes.
There is a polarization of votes.
Yes.
There was a secular vote was polarizing in favor of Samajwadi Party.
Right.
And BJP was getting BJP's chunk of votes. So anyhow, BJP very cleverly managed Uttar Pradesh to be regain the power.
Correct.
And at the same time, the Karnataka is very important for BJP to retain its claim for 2024 general election.
Right.
In Congress, there is a fractional issues between Siddaramaiah and DK Shivkumar. The same, there is an issue between BJP, BL Santosh and Yediyurappa is having a big fraction, two fractions are fighting in BJP. But BJP's fractional infighting is not coming out.
Right.
Because of the central leadership have a very powerful stance on certain issues.
Right.
But there is a big issues between the BJP, between the Yediyurappa and BL Santosh fractions.
Right.
And same time, Congress is having also the same issues. So it is very important how they manage the things in this 2023 election. Very important.
Right. So, adding on to BJP, I feel that, this election, Karnataka election coming up is very important for Congress as well. It is a part of Congress's revival right now. It's their plan because, there are upcoming elections in Rajasthan, Gujarat, and Karnataka is also one of them. So, if they want to, go in the long run, if Congress wants to go in the long run and wants to survive, it is very important for them to win this election.
Very important to win, but the strategy has to be maintained.
Yes.
The plan should be like that. Congress does not have that much system. There are emotional politicians and leaders, and the candidates' selections always fail. The right candidate is not put up, the right fight is not put up, and anti-incumbents will not be favoring them. These are all the major issues Congress will be facing. You know very well, in Uttarakhand election, there was a very strong anti-incumbency.
Yes.
What happened? Congress could not cash it because the leadership does not have a strategy to manage that.
Yes.
Even the chief minister was defeated in the election.
Yeah. And now there are by-polls that are going to happen in Uttarakhand on 31st of May because of that.
And he is again made the chief minister of Uttarakhand.
Yes.
So even Bombay is not that much strong to catch vote. BJP will be working on some other strategy to retain its power. In UP, they had a very strong face of Yogi to come to the power. And in Uttarakhand also, they didn't have to elect the chief minister back.
Right.
And Bombay is not as much strong as to catch Lingayat vote. This will be the transformational place where Congress with a strong strategy, they can come out with some political moves.
Yeah.
And their grassroots level organization only they can win the election.
Yes.
I clearly say that Congress leadership and workers are emotional only. That doesn't have the grassroots level strategy to win the election. And both the Congress and BJP is targeting for 150
emotional
seats.
in the sense, do you mean by the leadership that they are not providing to the non-Gandhis?
Not like emotional things. I'm telling the emotional in only that they are emotional for election campaign and everything.
Okay.
But they are not looking into the accurate point where there is weak, very strong. Karnataka is the state where election is done by all major candidates are all millionaires. And they spend huge money.
Right.
You see 18 Congress MLA with a huge financial background turned to the other party and they won.
Right, sir.
So the strategy, the grassroots level organization is important.
Right.
Unless they have a system, because last election, when you carefully watch the last election,
Yes.
Kittur region, Congress was weak. Mysore region, Congress was weak. And Central Karnataka also, Congress was weak.
Yes.
Coastal Karnataka also, Congress was weak.
Yes.
They had some seats was in Kalyan, Karnataka, and in the Mysore, Bangalore region.
Right.
So they have to fight along to get this 150 seats. The majors in the coastal area, Congress have to revive. And in coastal area, you know that the minority as well as Billava community is very strong.
Yes, yes, of course.
And Congress have strong Billava leaders also. Janardana Pujari is a very strong leader of Billava community.
Yes.
And also Lingayat community also Congress has good leaders. In the central Karnataka. And in Kittur region also, where is the Jarkloli brothers are here. Congress have a good strategy to win some 10 to 15 seats more from that area.
Right.
Congress can get somewhat the majority, but they have to work hard. And they have to find the weakness of BJP. BJP is very strong, and during the election time, they have a good system. They have worked out, and they have this, all system will be working missionaries. And Congress have a weak missionaries.
True. So
they have to work out on this.
So the main point for Karnataka election for Congress is they have to work with the strong communities in those regions if they want to survive.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Let us see what is they going to do. We are on the field. Our iScope media team will be working in Karnataka. We will getting reports. We will take the reports.
Yes.
And we will try to give it every month. We will give one report on the Karnataka statistics. Let them work, and we can also our audience also.
Right, sir. So it was a great talk, and I'm sure our audience would have loved today to know about the BJP versus Congress going on in Karnataka. Thank you for the talk, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. So to all our audience watching this show right now, we know it is BJP versus Congress in Karnataka, and the elections are to be held in 2023. And thus both the parties are in full swing to win the seats. Well, it is a very crucial election for both Congress and the BJP in Karnataka. As winning here for Congress is a part of the revival plan. And for BJP, it is very, very important for them to retain for the 2024 Lok Sabha polls. Well, this was Aparna Singh reporting for iScope Media. Stay connected and you will get more such updates from us and more such talks from us before the elections happen.